Wife doesn't know she's sexting me. My wife and I have been together for 5.5 years, married only 7 months. In June she made a secret Snapchat account to sell feet pics. I supported this at first because it boosted her confidence, her happiness improved, and so did our time life. At one point we felt more in love than ever before. She was open about everything going on, telling me a lot about the conversations and things being requested of her, which quickly became much more than just feet pics. She was now sending very timely explicit photos and videos. I didn't mind this as long as her identity remained anonymous. Her steadfast rules were no face pics and no meetups. Since the attention was helping us, I made a fake account posing as a guy named John who lives 2 hours away. John has only sent pics of his DCK, my own, and never his face. She's quickly became obsessed with John. She's even been ignoring me for him while I'm sitting across from her. Her time drive is very high due to him and credits him for it, whereas she never gave me any attention like this. She would message him back immediately and drag her feet to respond to my texts. For the first 2 weeks it was very fun, but now she's making plans to meet John to cheat on me. We were vacationing over the weekend in the area he resides and she was making plans for him to show up at our Airbnb while I was with friends. I caught her in the driveway waiting for him. The messages clearly show that she was expecting to give him head that night. She continues to tell John it was a close call that they didn't get caught together. John and her have been making plans to meet up at a hotel about 30 minutes from where we live. I've been contemplating going through with the plan and confronting her there. She has no idea it's me and I'm not sure what to do now. Redditor's reactions, story 2 after. Redditor 1, the cheating is bad enough but your wife doesn't recognize your dick. Every day you stay in this marriage is a waste of time. Redditor follow-up, plot twist, she does know it's him and is thinking they're role-playing. Redditor 2, meet her at the hotel as John with the divorce papers. Redditor follow-up, with it being less than a year he might be able to have the marriage annulled. Which would be better for him? Redditor 3, just serve her the divorce papers. Drama serves no purpose and you know she isn't loyal, so see the lawyer. Get your ducks in a row and file. Redditor 4, so really, do you know if she met up with any other men before you? Since you now know she's cheating on you with you. What do you want from this? Don't think this will have her stop doing this when she's caught. She'll just hide it from you better. Go to the courthouse and get the required divorce paperwork. Fill out the papers and bring them along with you. Confront her at the hotel room and let her tell you why she wants the marriage over with. Then hand her the papers and see what she does or says. Story 2, should I tell her affair partner's wife? My now ex-wife of 20 years cheated on me with a co-worker 3 years ago. After a futile attempt at working it out, we divorced and went our separate ways. I was initially devastated, but put in the work and have grown and healed tremendously. There is hope. Her affair partner's wife, to my knowledge, doesn't know anything about the affair. As they still travel together for work, I imagine the fling continues, even though she has a serious relationship with someone else. I have always wanted to tell his wife, but initially thought it might be my desire to cause her trouble at work or to deflect my pain to someone else. Now that I have some distance from the situation, I still have the desire to tell. Now I think it's because I sure wish someone had told me and the desire for the truth to come to light. My only way of communication with her would be FB Messenger and we are not friends. Should I reach out to the affair partner's wife to see if she is still indeed married to him? Her status still states she is, and there is a picture of her and the app together at their son's wedding from last year, and let her know, or should I leave it alone and let her suffer the pain organically? I'm not sure she would even ever see the message. Is this my last bit of pain, and I should still consider that I might be doing more harm than good? Redditor's reactions. Story 3 after. Redditor 1, since all is clear with ex and divorce. Hell yes, tell AP's wife. You have the proof to share? If they are still screwing around, you can tell their HR department. Redditor 2, honestly, when I got cheated on and people knew and told me afterwards, I wished I knew earlier. You think so much of someone and give all this love, and they're behind your back with someone else. I've told people's partners, and they thanked me. We're upset but thanked me. Not everyone will, but in my opinion I think it's a good idea. Op comment. Well, I sent her a message this morning from a pretty anonymous FB account I have. Just stated that if she is still married, she may want to reach out. I will update if I hear a response. Story 3, third time catching her cheating in 3 months. So me and the woman been together now just gone 6 years. We've had ups and downs, but never thought this would happen. In April 22nd she befriended this fella, and eventually it became more than a friendship. I found out in June on accident. She came home from a weekend away with some workmates, and I thought it was nothing out the ordinary. I remember clearly she came back and asked me, still drunk nonetheless, did I miss her? I said yeah, and she crawled into bed. Some time went by and she fell asleep with her phone open. I've never checked her phone, but when I picked up the phone to stop it from falling off the bed, I see a conversation with a dude I don't know. I go into it and see. I'm sure you know what I found, however I couldn't believe it. Right while she was beside me, she was talking to this fella saying all sorts. While she's still asleep I check everything and then instantly get sick, so I run to the toilet. I tried to go bed but couldn't sleep, and then wake her to confront her. She denies it while she's half asleep and drunk. Then I show her the phone and she wakes up instantly. I ask her did she cheat on me, and she said yes. Then the waterworks come from her. Anyways, I leave and go for a walk, course couldn't stay with her. ATM was too angry and not into beating women. While I'm walking she is hockeying my phone to come back and talk, and I refuse until she tells me the full extent of the affair. She didn't know I seen everything. She tells me the details and I ask, did they do the deed? She says no and keeps insisting every time I ask about. Anyways, I love this woman, she is for me, and I'm willing to swallow my pride and stay together. One day at a time thing. A few weeks later things are actually the best they've been. It really helped us make like a reset on the relationship. However, I end up having these bad dreams and dodgy feelings, so I check her phone again only to find out she changed the passcode, so I ask her and get the new one. A week after that I have another dream and I wake up to check her phone and boom, same fella still there even after she blocked him on everything, only for her to add him again. I ask her again did she do the deed, and she finally admits it. Heartbroken, no pride left. I found out just after her birthday, when I made sure she had an amazing one, but still. One day at a time I still love her. Some time passes, like a month, it's our anniversary, I start a new job, I think things are good. She goes out with her sister and comes back drunk, goes to bed, asks me did I miss her, and says she sent me a picture of her fit but I didn't get one. Not being stupid this time, I check her phone and the same fella still there. I go through the thread and find that she's been talking to him for 22 days, and only a week into backtaking they were sending nudes again. What little pieces of my heart are shaking, about to implode. Then I see on our anniversary she was sending nudes to him while I was in work. I confronted her and she said she doesn't know how to end it. The reason I am sharing is I dunno what to do. I still love her, I know handicap, but one day at a time ain't working. I have options, should I do the same and not try hide it, or just leave cause I ain't gonna start another relationship. Redditor's reactions, story 4 after. Redditor 1, just leave her. She has now established the new norm for the relationship, and it is up to you to decide if you agree with it. The irony is that she does not know how to end it with him, but she has no problem if her choices ends it with you. You are now becoming a doormat to her. She is not worth the emotional destruction you are experiencing. Redditor 2, bro, as hard as it is, get away from her. I know it's hard. I was in the same boat. Quote, sometimes it doesn't work out with someone because they're a piece of acid who deserves a piece of acid and you're not a piece of acid. Redditor 3, dude, she has no respect for you and obviously values his feelings more. She'll always be the victim while she victimizes you, trust me. The word narcissist gets thrown around a bunch, but I feel you're with one. She'll never give you closure by admitting to doing you wrong, and because of that, she'll never apologize, and I can almost guarantee you're waiting all hopeful for a moment of remorse or regret. Nope, not with her nor without her. If you have options, take them, but not to rub it in her face, cause she'll only find a way to make you look like the bad guy, plus it's screwed to use people as tools to hurt others. Move on and make yourself happy and forget she existed. Story 4, Forgive and Forget. First ever post, wife 35 of 3 years together 5. Cheated on me for 8 months. I'm crushed in ways I can't explain. Not for the typical reasons though. Let me explain. When we started dating, we were the type of super mushy annoying couple. A few months in, I noticed a name I didn't recognize pop up on Snapchat. I didn't think anything much of it. That is until she came and picked up her phone and pretended like she didn't see anything, put it away, and we went on with our day. It stewed with me a while and didn't feel right. So I asked that night who it was and yada. She said it was an old friend. I clarified we all know what friend means in early dating vocabulary. If she had intimate relations, she assured me no. More messages over time, and her scheduling a photo shoot with him through Snapchat set me off. Not angry, just too many weird things. So I asked again if there had been a past. Indeed there was, a complicated one at that. He was her go-to guy for whatever she needed. Food, fun, time, etc. She had wanted a relationship with him, she was de-need. I made it clear that her lying and using a chat service that disappears in this scenario was messed up, and we needed to leave Snapchat in our past, and this guy has to go completely because her feelings about him and the past life together was enough to make her lie. Then it needs to be eliminated. She understood and agreed. Take note, at this point in we were together 7 months and I was planning my proposal for 2 days after. We knew each other 3 years before dating. Relax. Why would I react this way? Lies about dudes never sit well with me, so I've always made great strides to be painfully honest about everything, and I've always taken bad information well. I've made sure she and others before her could tell me anything anytime. If it's a horrible thing, my reactions will always be calm, understanding and relating to the human condition. Keeping lies. Nor, not for me. I propose, she says yes, everything's amazing. 5 months later. We go on an amazing 19-day 17-state road trip. One stop in St. Louis. We weren't planning on, so she reached out to a friend who gave some suggestions. Fast forward a month. I get a weird feeling. I go to dude's Instagram. What do I see? Her liking and commenting and several of his pics. Okay, cool. I don't approach immediately. I call a friend, we hang out and talk it through. I need to calm my head, I need to ensure I'm not overreacting, I need to know if I'm being crazy. I come home, first thing I say, "Are you still talking to him?" Big sigh from her, yes. This time I'm not so calm, not scary, kind of angry but not nice at all. After a bit of yelling and crying I finally break it down. "This dude makes me uncomfortable, you're still hung up on him, at least in my head, are we supposed to be together?" I explain how it's respecting my needs, it's respecting me, period. She gets it, she understands, apologizes and agrees, again. Fast forward, marriage, start a business, have a baby, I get laid off. 17 years employee, timing was good for my layoff, happened right as the baby was born. I'm getting a nice year-long severance and get to be with the baby. During this time frame I'm not being a good stay-at-home dad, house chores, getting done but not to an acceptable level or time frame, so I find a job. She's mostly self-employed, so she set up a mini kid play place at her office. Our business works good. I immerse myself with my new job, completely new line of work, completely foreign. Takes about 5 months before I hit my stride and stop being wildly stressed and make serious money at it. Now that I'm not stressed every second of the day, I have time to do the extra things, plan vacations, more extensive up-leveling of the home, etc. We take a beautiful vacation, have an amazing time, have the perfect reconnection. 9 months since last real vacation. Day we get back, I'm watching the shop where the iPad is that we run the shop through. Something tells me to look, it's tied to her iPhone. Boom, implicit detailed information, it no one should see or know. I never had and never wanted to look. Seriously and truly respected, past tense, her privacy. She's a job, I text her asking how long, she denies. She calls, she denies. I tell her how I know, she says it was once, I ask again. She says she also blew him once. I remind her what I'm seeing, she says 8 months since they hooked up and she started talking to him again the same month I started the new job. She apologizes, she says she was already going to break it off, she already decided this from our reconnection. She begged me not to leave. I reminded her I was still there and I want to stay. 4 days later I broke again. Mentally, I attempted suicide in a fit of rage and not thinking clear. Very dark time, and yes, it's being addressed. While I'm in the hospital, she writes his GF a letter and has it delivered to her work. Wife tells me she does this so he can really be removed from her life for good. She's offered to put trackers on her person, and various other things to help assure me she's changed and it won't happen again. I did not agree to this due to the fact I do not believe this is how you regain trust. My problem is, it's only been 6 weeks since the discovery. I go about some days as if I never knew, and other days I find myself following her or checking the spots where it happened. I'm so madly in love with my wife. I know people don't just cheat when happy. I know I have responsibility. We have always been aware that each of us are human and time may happen. So we always agreed to either tell each other right way or make sure it wasn't reoccurring. She referred to this man as her BF and used the L word he did not. Am I just cuckolding myself? What are the odds I stop feeling intense pain? How do I truly rebuild trust? Redditors' reactions, story 5 after. Redditor 1, what has happened to Western men to have lost so much self-respect to even consider staying with a backstabbing adulteress? I fear we as a society is lost, and this is but one of the reasons. Men who tolerate such disrespect and bemoan their pain instead of acting to rid themselves of the harlot. Redditor follow-up, this is seriously a concern. Crying and it instead of facing reality. Shit is sad. Redditor 2, your wife has been and remains a complete piece of shit. She has lied to you repeatedly from the start, so if you don't break it off, then drop the expectations and accept that you will always come second to the other man. Redditor 3, rug sweeping infidelity does nothing at all to correct why it is happening. We don't know to be looking for signs of infidelity, we don't know what to don when it happens, so we certainly don't know how to reconcile. So we need help, to find out what went so very wrong, in her, maybe you and the relationship itself. So therapy is necessary. To cheat is to lie, simply trying to hide what she is doing with pretty much anyone is cheating. And absolutely for anyone the cheater holds a torch for or even interest in. All infidelity needs to be properly reconciled, or if it isn't done correctly, it wasn't done at all. And why she kept right on cheating while you kept trying to use logic to get her to stop. But I cannot discern if this was just a city magnetic attraction affair or an emotional affair, with limerence and it turned physical. The main thing now is getting into therapy, and determining if she is actually, truly remorseful. Rug sweeping an affair, never seems to work well. Story 5, my M35 wife F37 told me this morning that she wants a divorce after yesterday's three-way. My wife and I had a three-way yesterday with a woman that I know. It was terrible, to tell you the truth. My wife was so awkward and she refused to take off her nightgown amongst other things. She never looked at me once and refused to let me touch or kiss her. The girl F29 we had was more relaxed and she tried to make my wife get comfortable. My wife was more receptive to her advances than to me. She just shut me out completely. I only thought it was because it was my wife's first time, and that she was awkward. She is a very shy person. Anyway, halfway she just took a more passive role and even didn't let the girl touch her. This morning she told me that the marriage was over and that she wanted a divorce. I asked her if it was because of yesterday and she said yes. I asked her why she didn't tell me that she didn't want the three-way if she hated it so much that it's ending our marriage. She said our marriage ended the day I suggested the three-way and that she just wanted to see if it was worth breaking her heart and said I hope it was worth it. Of course it wasn't worth it. I would have forgot all about it. She said she didn't want it. She did say that she wasn't into having other people when I first suggested it and I respected that, but then she changed her mind and agreed. My wife and my family are way more important to me than any three-way. If she didn't want it I would have never brought it up again. I feel played. What do you ducking say to a woman like this? I ducking love her and I don't want to live without her, but she has asked me to move out tomorrow. Please, thank you for sending me my wife's posts. One reads: the moment my husband suggested a FMF, the marriage was over in my heart. Am I overreacting? The other reads: the FMF is happening on Saturday. Afterwards I'm serving my husband the divorce papers. I don't know how to include the posts. But I have read them. One and one alone have ruined my life. I broke my wife's heart. Edit to add. Look, I know I'm 100% wrong here and that I ducked up completely and ruined my life and broke my girl's heart. But what she did is so ducked up. It's just so ducked up that she never once communicated how she felt to me. Her husband. I asked her once and she decided to divorce me then and there. And she pretended everything was cool between us. If she had told me that a threesome is a deal breaker, I would never have asked her again. I repeat. If she had told me that a threesome is a deal breaker, I would never have asked her again. If she told me how that broke her heart, I would have done anything to try and mend it. But she was just so calm and collected about it. None of you live with us to see my pof. No one can see how ducked up this is. I know I should have been more attentive during the three-way. I wasn't, and I regret it bitterly. It's my first and I got it confused because she was the one who brought up the subject again after telling me no and I forgot about it. But according to her she was already set on divorce, so there was nothing I could have done during the three-way to change her mind. She has thrown away her marriage because of a stupid request that I didn't follow up on, but she did. Redditors' reactions. Redditor 1, where did you meet this woman? Does that mean you ducked this girl while your wife was sitting there doing nothing? Redditor 2, man, if there's one thing I've learned from this sub, it's to be super grateful for my happy monogamous relationship. Redditor follow-up, yep. Another post to the list of ops doing a threesome, opening the relationship and it falling apart soon after. Redditor 3, your wife refused for you to touch and kiss her, she then didn't let the girl touch her. Did you continue? Did you have full-on time with the other woman? Because if you carried on whilst your wife was throwing out such big signals, then you're a complete idiot. Quick question, did the other woman suggest the three-way to you before you asked your wife? Redditor follow-up, you know Hubs had full-on penetration with the friend. This was all about him getting a free pass to duck another woman.